Well, I haven't been involved in other networks before. What I will say is along the journeys, and this is after and whilst being a member of the NCP, I have got involved in another network which is called the Association of Virtual CFOs. It's very much a specialist network for virtual CFOs, and that's been running for about 5 years, and I'm still a member of that network as well. But it's struggling to provide its members with real value because there is a lot of work behind the scenes in a network that helps to create the value. So the NCP has a dedicated group of senior people, mostly founders of the network, who do an enormous amount of work behind the scenes. Now, a lot of us just don't see all that work, but we receive the benefits. Having been involved in another network, I recognise how much work is actually needed to make that work for your members. So being involved with an established network that has got that sort of resource at the top is critically important, and that's what makes the NCP work. The NCP meets regularly with all the members. We get the opportunity to listen to what other members are doing, talking about their successes. We get the opportunity to learn more about what other members are doing, because someone might be a marketing specialist, but that doesn't really tell you what they do. So you get the opportunity to know what their area of speciality is. You have the opportunity to discuss with them how they overcame the barriers that are always there. What worked for them mightn't work for you, but some of the things that they've done to overcome the barriers will work for you. You don't break down preconceived ideas overnight, it takes time, but the thing that the NCP does is gives you the support to get through that time that's involved in moving your conceptions about how to be a successful consultant from what you thought at the start to what's actually required. When I first joined the NCP, it was about being a part of a referral network, and at that time, I saw that as the main focus, and that has worked very well. I mean, we had probably the majority of our clients and our business nowadays has come via referrals through members of the NCP network. But what we found after that, or what I found after that, was that there are a lot of other benefits. Because when you're in business for yourself, no matter what sort of business, but particularly as a consulting business, there are a lot of doubts. Am I doing the right thing? Will this work? And particularly because it takes time to build your business. So you will go through periods where you go, is this worth it? And then there's the trap of the first remotely decent job offer that comes along, you might take it. That's a step backwards, because in the long run, in the right network, you will build a solid business. So it's not just about the referrals, it's also about having a group that you can discuss things with, seeing other people who are doing the same thing in a different specialty or in a generalist way, but they're effectively doing the same thing that you are, and so you have that opportunity to discuss how they're progressing. And plus, you've got the benefit of members who have been there for 10, 15 years or more, who have built their businesses, who can assure you that you're on the right path and so forth. We're a specialist, so our clients will get the benefit from other members coming in. I mentioned before a client that we're involved with that has grown from $1 million turnover to 60 million turnover in 6 years. And we've been in there doing financial planning, forecasting, modelling, all that sort of thing through that time. But another NCP member, and it was actually the person who introduced us in there, was doing business mentoring for the partners. Now, there's 2 young guys who started off this business, and the business was growing rapidly, and they got enormous value out of the business mentoring that NCP member provided to them, because once again, there's these different perspectives. These guys are very good at surrounding themselves with advisors and mentors and listening to them. And they're seeing the benefits of that in the fact that they now have a very valuable business turning over, $60 million. There are other circumstances where we've had other NCP members come in who are running strategy workshops, which is a specialist area in itself. The context, and we've been involved in those strategy workshops with the clients and the other NCP member who is running those workshops. Incredibly valuable because we're able to provide that feedback on the financial side of things. We're able to model the future plans of that business based around the strategic settings that were agreed on in those workshops. And we have this feedback situation then turn up where we're feeding back to the other NCP advisor on the financial impacts of the strategies that are put in place, and of course then get in there and make sure that you are talking to as many of the existing members as possible. Work hard on creating relationship with them and make sure that you do listen when they talk. Not everything that you hear will be of value to you, but if you're not listening, you're going to miss the things that are of value to you. And the members who are there, particularly members who have been there for some time, are there because they have been successful. And the things that make any business successful are not black and white. You can't read it in books. You can read 10 million business manuals or books on how to be a successful business person. That will not help you. You will get some principles, but the things that actually make your business successful are much more subtle than that. And it's almost like you absorb them rather than learn them over time. So being involved with a whole lot of people who are doing the same thing and achieving success is extremely valuable.